Hey sis, is now a good time to talk? Hello, Tiffany. It's not like you to message me. Is everything okay? I heard you quit your job at Globex Corporation. Is it true? Why would you quit such a good company? They're like one of the most famous companies there is. I don't get it. Huh? Sure, I quit, but that was 5 years ago, Tiff. How come you're asking me about this now? So, basically, what you're saying is you're an unemployed NEET right now? No, why would you think that? I'm working. A lot, actually. Huh? Wait, what? I'm pretty sure I told everyone last time our families met, but Globex Corporation didn't have any issues with its employees having secondary jobs. So I worked as a designer on the side. Over the years, my design work came to occupy more and more of my time, and I got orders from more and more clients. Eventually, I was making enough money that I figured I could make the same as or more than my salary at Globex if I quit and went full-time with the design stuff. So that's exactly what I did. I started up my own company and now work full-time as a designer. Wow, you work as a designer? What kind of stuff do you make? Oh, you wouldn't happen to make welcome signs for weddings, would you? How about wedding invite letters? You know, that kind of thing? Oh, wait a sec, Tiff. Listen, I can make those things, and if you're going to ask me to make them for you, I can absolutely do it, but you should know it'll cost money. Is that okay with you? What the heck? You'd ask for money from your own family? Even though the stuff we need is going to be used for your own little brother's wedding, I'm your sister-in-law, Helen. Don't you think you're being a little stingy and small-minded here? Or is it just that things aren't going well with work and you're so broke you have no choice but to charge me? My brother warned me you might reach out, and he said that if you make any attempt to make me work for free to make things for the wedding, that I'm to refuse firmly. Funnily enough, he said that if you offer to pay for it, I should refuse even more insistently. Wait, what the hell? Kelvin said those things to you? God, why is he like this? He's a great guy most of the time, but whenever we discuss anything to do with the wedding, he becomes the stingiest guy on earth. He told me how you have a habit of trying to buy exorbitantly expensive add-ons for the wedding whenever you have free reign over the credit card. So much so that he had to limit your access. In his words, if we go over budget on this wedding, it'll have an impact on our lives for years down the line. Apparently, your spending got so out of hand he felt the need to anticipate whatever crazy purchase you might attempt to make next in order to come up with preventative and/or damage control measures. Wow, are you kidding me? He said all that? Oh my God, he's such a snake. You only get married once, Doesn't a girl deserve to enjoy the most special day of her life with no regrets? It's not fair. Why are you telling me this? If you have a problem with it, talk to Kelvin. You guys' attitudes towards this are so different that even I'm worried. You're pretty much day and night when it comes to your views on money and budgeting. Yeah, whatever. I don't need a lecture from you. I don't need your concern either, lady. You're a broke, single loser, and your ties to this family are so weak you barely even deserve to be called a part of it. No man would ever want you. You'll never get married, and you should keep your mean comments to yourself. Excuse me? Bye.
Helen, you got a minute? Are you really sure it's okay for me to have this $10,000 for the wedding?
Yeah, of course. I wouldn't have sent it otherwise, silly.
But Helen, seriously? Man, I don't even know where to begin with how uncomfortable this makes me.
The wedding costs? You're way over the budget you planned after you got engaged, right? You helped me out a bunch back when I started my company with things like introductions to potential employees, recommendations on accounting software, corporate registration procedures. I could go on. What I'm trying to say here, Kelvin, is that this is my way of saying thanks for everything you did for me.
I see. I can't describe how grateful I am for this, sis. Thanks so much. To be honest, it's a huge help. I'll use it wisely, I promise.
Hey, what the hell is this piece of junk, Helen? You've got some explaining to do. The coffee machine you gave us as a wedding gift, I just Googled it, and it apparently only costs $500. You frickin' tightwad. I know you're hardly a high roller, but I at least thought you made more money than that. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was surprised at first when my brother told me you gave us that $10,000, but then, when I actually stopped to think about it, I realized there's no way a broke loser like you could be capable of getting that much money together. I know. I bet this was easy money you got from lucking out somehow, wasn't it? So go on. How'd you win it? A lottery ticket? A raffle? Gambling? Personally, my money's on a lottery ticket. I know you couldn't have come up with it yourself because you're dumb, useless, and don't have a single talent. Yep, I knew it. You're just a broke loser like I always thought. I can't believe you're actually so pathetic. You tried to prove you were better than me by donating $10,000 to the wedding fund. This is the most hilarious, tragic attempt at flexing at someone I've ever seen. Oh man, my sides hurt. Oh, I know. I just had a flash of genius. This is the perfect opportunity to add a little surprise to the banquet later on. Just for you. Get excited, girl. Woohoo! I did it! During the very last moments of the banquet, I finally managed to expose you as the pathetic, broke loser that you are. Now the whole world knows the truth. I don't know why my mom started panicking and dragging me out of the banquet hall all of a sudden. But I gotta say, that felt great. I feel so refreshed. Tiffany, what on earth do you think you're playing at? Why would you do something like that on such an important day? I can't make any sense of it at all. Just to make sure you don't forget, I'll write down everything I just said to the guests here, okay? You gave us $10,000 to help out with the wedding fund. With easy money you won on the lottery? Don't act self-important, that's nothing. If you didn't like me making that announcement on the loudspeakers in front of everyone at the wedding, then I suggest you do it properly next time and give me $10,000 you earned yourself. You couldn't even afford a proper wedding gift. I'm ashamed to call you my sister-in-law. You really should make more of an effort on fixing your mental health, you know? Because jealousy is disgusting, and no one likes jealous people. You're so broke, and everyone in this family hates you so much. It's actually painful to remember you exist. You are so never finding a husband. If you don't like being told the cold, hard truth, you need to give me another $500 on top of the $500 coffee machine you gave us pronto. Oh, and one more thing. Please do your best to understand what a useless moron you are, even if it means reading over my messages again. I really am trying to help you here. Fine. I want my $10,000 back. What? I'm afraid that ain't gonna happen, girl. Hang on, no way. Were you gonna try and give me my $500 out of the $10,000? What a tightwad. I do wish you at least wouldn't try and pretend you put that $10,000 together yourself, because, like, there's literally no way that's possible for someone as broke as you. Kelvin, have you seen the series of message screenshots I just sent you?
Yep. Oh my god. Helen, it looks like what you did for Tiff out of kindness and consideration totally backfired. Jeez, I can't believe she did that. I mean, seriously. Easy money from winning on a lottery ticket. What the hell is going on in that head of hers?
It was her idea then. To be honest, I didn't think you'd say anything like that.
Of course I wouldn't. All I did was tell her plain and simple. My sister decided to help out by giving us the $10K we went over budget for on the wedding. Not only that, but for some inexplicable reason, she seems to think you're poor. I don't get it. I literally have no idea why she thinks that. Do you? I'm pretty sure I brought up the success of your business and your position in the business world on a few occasions during conversation with her before.
No, beats me too. I never go into detail, but I have told her about my work on a few occasions in the past. She might not know the extent of my earnings, but at the very least, she has no reason to think I'm broke, as she loves to put it.
God damn it, she couldn't be any wider off the mark if she tried. You don't need this, and you certainly don't deserve it, Helen. I'm sorry. Leave the rest to me. I'll make sure you get your $10K back too. I promise.
Got it. All right, Kelvin. It's in your hands now. Kelvin! Oh, there you are. Where have you been hiding? And more importantly, where are you right now? Everyone's gonna be waiting if we don't hurry up and get our butts to the after party ASAP. Move, let's go.
The after party is canceled.
What? Why?
Have you still not realized the gravity of what you've done? What you did to my sister at the banquet was unacceptable. How is it possible you're the only one who hasn't realized? My family, your family, the guests, even the freaking waiters, and obviously Helen herself, everyone was so disgusted with you, their jaws practically hit the floor. Do you still not get it?
Huh? What are you talking about?
You insulted my sister.
Huh?
Everything you said in that banquet hall in a despicable attempt to expose Helen was dead wrong. Helen ain't a broke loser. She's the founder and CEO of the fastest growing graphic design company in all of America.
Huh? Say what now?
And far from having no hope of finding a husband, she's currently engaged to Ben Silverstein, the son of the CEO of Goldman Sachs, one of the biggest banks on the planet.
Oh my God. What?
How can you claim to be surprised after all this time? I already told you this stuff.
Wait, really? No way. You can't have. I'd remember.
You plainly don't. Which is why the $10,000 she kindly gave us was most definitely not the prize money from a lottery ticket, and it wasn't something she came into possession of out of luck. She gave us her hard-earned money because she wanted to help.
No, wait. That can't be. Want to know why? Because I saw your sister buying a lottery ticket.
Sure, Helen does buy herself a lottery ticket once per year. Most she's ever won was $20.
No. This can't be. I'm serious, Kelvin. How come I've never seen her with this Silverstein guy, this supposed son of a CEO?
Because he's away on business in Europe. He plans on coming back to America to marry Helen next year.
No way. You mean your sister Helen was actually super amazing all along?
I already told you all this. I already knew you had a few strange ideas about the world, a slight tendency to make weird assumptions, and a habit of not paying attention to anyone when they spoke to you, but you've gone too far this time. I've had it with you. What the hell is your problem with my sister?
Kelvin, please hear me out. It makes sense, I swear. Think about it. Why the hell would anyone who works for Globex Corporation, one of the most prestigious companies in the world, quit to move back in with their parents?
She quit her job to prepare for starting up her own company, you idiot. And she didn't move back in with our parents. My mom and dad moved into the house she had built for them all.
What? You mean that 3-floor terraced house with a hot tub and mountain views belongs to your sister?
Yeah, for the millionth time, I already told you this.
Wait a sec. Oh my God. If it's not your parents' house, does that mean you won't inherit it one day?
Excuse me? Inherit?
I was so excited to be able to live in that house when your parents died. Ugh!
Jesus, Tiffany, you're messed up in the head. You seriously never listen to a word I say, do you?
Oh my God.
I was going to make my next decision based on how you reacted to me confronting you about what you did in the wedding, but I knew it. This is hopeless.
Wait, what? Kelvin?
I want a divorce.
Why?
Do I have to explain that too? Are you just conveniently ignoring the fact that you insulted my sister at our wedding in front of the whole banquet hall? After you just admitted to waiting for my parents to die so you could live in their house?
But I didn't think I was insulting her. In my mind, all I was doing was telling the truth.
Well, this is what you get for ignoring everything I tell you. Actions have consequences, Tiffany, and my patience has reached its limit. I want to know what the worst thing is. In spite of everything you've done, in spite of all the hurt, drama, and upset you've caused, you haven't uttered so much as a single word of apology. That's what swung my decision. That's what sealed your fate.
What am I even supposed to say to that?
I'm done speaking to you. Besides, we don't even have time for this right now. I have to go and explain the situation to everyone waiting for us at the after party who still think we're married.
Hey, wait! You don't have my consent for the divorce, you know.
Do you want to embarrass me even more than you already have?
Huh?
My parents had to explain to everyone everything you said about my sister was a lie after my mom dragged you out of the hall. Those who already knew Helen is a successful businesswoman were appalled with you right then and there, as soon as you started speaking. But those who didn't, and who may have actually believed the crap you spewed about her, were left looking meek and embarrassed. I even had some guy come up to me and ask, "Hey buddy, are you sure marrying Helen is the right thing to do?" Before my parents took the mic, explained everything, and set the record straight.
That's awful.
Yep, and it was entirely your fault. Nothing you say or do could possibly change my mind at this point. I've lost all faith in you, and it's never coming back. We'll be continuing this conversation through my lawyer.
What the heck, Kelvin? Why would you hire a lawyer? Talk about overreacting.
If you think a lawyer is overreacting after what you did, this is more hopeless than I thought.
But why?
This will go on forever unless we call it a day here. Go home with your parents. I never want to see you again.
Wait, please.
Goodbye, Tiffany.
Me and Kelvin were concerned Tiffany might launch an assault on our parents' house after that, but thankfully, our fears never came true, the divorce was finalized, and everything more or less settled down. Or so we thought. Because after that, Tiffany showed up in the place we least expected it. Believe it or not, she began stalking the son of the CEO of Goldman Snacks, a famous donut chain. It would appear she was trying to kill two birds with one stone. In stealing my fiancé, she could exact her revenge on me while simultaneously marrying into wealth beyond her wildest dreams. Unfortunately for her, my fiancé is the son of the CEO of Goldman Blacks, a bank. Not only that, but he's away on work business in Europe. In a hilarious irony, her inability to pay attention to anything anyone tells her resulted in her being arrested and forced to pay copious amounts of compensation for accidentally stalking a complete stranger. Oh, and let's not forget the compensation she already owes my brother for the absurd stunt she pulled at their wedding. Shortly after her arrest, Tiffany was disowned by her parents, but not before her dad got her a job at a friend's factory in a final act of compassion. Probably in the hope that she'd use it as an opportunity to turn her life around. Rumor has it her new boss is as strict as they come, so she'll have no choice but to be on her best behavior at all times from now on. As for me, I'm just enjoying my newly found peace and quiet. What a relief that she's gone. I don't need toxic people in my life, and neither do you folks.
Hey, Roy! Is it really true that you moved back in with Grandma?
It is, but wow, I guess word must travel really fast for you to have already heard about that, huh?
I'm just wondering why you never talked to me about this before. You know that you're kind of putting Grandma in a tough spot, don't you? I mean, it's not just you moving in, you also brought your wife Harriet too, right?
I did, but I don't really see what the big deal is. I mean, we're all family. Grandma really shouldn't have a problem accommodating the two of us.
Of course we're all family, but don't you think you kind of dropped this on her suddenly?
I don't get it. What do you mean by that? She's always talking about how she wants to come and visit.
Right, but the last time you were living with her was when you were in your 20s, right? Besides, coming to visit is very different from moving in. You know that, right?
Are you talking about how I had to leave because it was becoming too much for Grandma to deal with? That was when I was younger. That was then, and this is now, okay?
But you really did do a lot to hurt Grandma, and I don't think you've ever taken accountability for that.
Except that I literally just did. I get that what I did when I was younger wasn't right of me to do.
Well, I just really hope so. I mean, she's the one who raised us ever since our parents died when we were little. But you always seem to hate living with them because they had their own house way out in the country.
And I was used to living in the city when Mom and Dad were still alive. What's your point? Was I supposed to be a happy-go-lucky teenager after our folks died and we had to move out to the middle of nowhere? We had to leave our friends and then go out there where there's all kinds of bugs and animals, and it was a lot for me.
I know. I was there too, remember? I know it was tough, but I'm just saying that you took out your frustrations with the situation on Grandma. And then, after you graduated high school, you just left the house without saying a word and didn't talk to us for years.
You're right, and that was a mistake that I made that I should have never done.
So then, why did you decide to come back now? That's what I want to know. And why bring your wife with you?
Well, because I'm older now, and I've really been thinking about living a life out in the city lately. Not to mention that it's something my wife wanted to try and do as well. I figured that Grandma was still living out here, so it was the perfect chance to move out there.
I get that, but you just showed up at her door with all your bags. You never warned her that you were coming at all.
Nah, I did ask her, and she said that it was fine if I came back to live with her. She said that it was okay, and then I went back, get it?
Well, I don't think that she understood that you were going to be moving into her home. She probably thought you were just coming to visit her.
Well, I don't really get what the big deal is. Her house is way too big for one person, and there's plenty of room for Harriet and I here.
I get that, but it's still Grandma's house. I mean, she had never even met Harriet before now. You really should have made sure that she understood you meant to live with her before you went over.
Look, you also moved out of Grandma's place, right? Last I heard, you were working in the city.
Yeah, that's right, but I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Basically, this is none of your business now, and you shouldn't be getting upset with me.
I'm just asking you to be a bit more considerate of what Grandma has done for us, and that you don't take advantage of her kindness. You can't just run around expecting everyone to change their life plans for you at the drop of a hat.
So you're telling me you think Grandma should have just kept on living out there all on her own with no one to take care of her?
I was a bit worried for her, actually, if you must know.
You know that her knees are starting to give out and she can't do all that she used to. That's why I'm here to help her out.
And what about your wife, Harriet? Her and Grandma have never even met. Even I've never met her. We didn't even know that you were married until well after the fact. But you're really all just gonna live together and get along?
Of course, Harriet isn't fussy and she's really adaptable to different situations.
Well, I hope so. But either way, I really feel like you went about this the wrong way.
No, it's a bit late to undo anything now, but it's fine. There's nothing to worry about at all.
Well, I still am worried, okay? Anyways, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be going back to her place soon, too. I want to see you and I want to meet your wife.
Oh, you don't really need to do that, you know?
Well, I want to and I will, so there. I want to make sure that you're treating Grandma well. I also want an apology from you for all that you've done. Roy, what's the matter with you? Did you really throw our grandmother out of her own house? What were you thinking? Why would you do something like that?
What are you talking about? All I did was ask her politely to move out.
Of her own home? You basically just stole her house from her. I can't believe that you would do something like that.
Look, Grandma was not taking care of that house on her own, so I suggested that she move into a retirement home instead. I don't really get what's so horrible about that.
Please tell me that that's supposed to be some kind of bad joke. You literally stole her house right from under her. You know how much she loved that house.
But she's getting so old. The house was a mess when I first got here.
Well, then why don't you just help her take care of the house since you're the one who showed up there and said you would be living there? I thought you said that you moved back there to help take care of Grandma.
Oh, right. Well, I was helping that at first, but then I realized that Grandma wasn't getting her fair share and was just getting in the way more than anything.
I don't believe it. This was always your plan from the beginning, wasn't it?
Hey, do you watch YouTube ever?
I do? But what does that have to do with anything at all?
Well, there's a big trend for videos about country living, and I just really want to tap into that viewership and go viral. I figured that if I could fix up Grandma's house and get her out of there, that it would be the perfect setting to start a new channel from.
And that's the reason why you kicked our Grandma out of her house?
I mean, that isn't the only reason. When this place is even more fixed up, I want to turn it into an Airbnb. People are always wanting to go to the country and try and experience how life is out here. But if Grandma was still hanging around, I think that she would just bum people out and make them not want to stay.
I don't even know what to say to you anymore, Roy.
Don't tell me you're jealous of my great idea. I'll bet that you're kicking yourself for not thinking of this first.
That's not it at all. I'm just sick and tired of the way that you've been treating our poor Grandma.
She was doing just fine. She had this huge place all to herself. But this house was wasted on her, and I'm actually gonna make something out of it. Besides, it's not like she's gonna be around for much longer anyway.
You made a big mistake though, Roy. You're through, do you know that?
Through? Me? No, I'm actually just getting started. I found the deed to the house while I was cleaning up the place, and now it's in my possession, which means that I own it.
I still can't believe that you would do this. She took us in after our parents died and gave us a place to sleep and 3 meals a day. How could you turn around and treat her like this? I won't let you get away with this, you know.
And just what are you or Grandma gonna do about it, huh? I'll bet that you're just upset because you know that when our parents died, they hardly had anything left to give us. And now you're just mad because I realized that that meant our only real inheritance was what our grandma owned, and now I have it.
Do you really think that's what I'm upset about?
You're just pretending to be upset over Grandma so you can build your claim to the house. But it's already mine, and you can't have it. And Grandma can't do anything about it either.
Well, I'm not going to let Grandma live the rest of her life in some retirement home. I'll take her in and take care of her.
You do that. It'll save me the trouble of having to find something for her. But I hope you realize that you're still not getting a single cent out of this house.
I wasn't thinking about that at all, actually.
I've taken all of Grandma's stuff. It's all mine. But good luck taking care of her. I doubt you'll be able to make much off of her pension checks. Anyway, I don't have anything more to say to you. But just know that I never want to see you around here ever again.
Grandma, really sorry to keep you waiting. I just got off work now, and I'm on my way to pick you up. Oh, don't worry about that, Ren. I just arrived at the bus station now, so I haven't been waiting at all. If anything, I'm the one who should be sorry for sucking you into this mess. Grandma, please, you have nothing to apologize for at all. You didn't do anything wrong. The only person who's in the wrong here is my pig-headed brother, Roy. Honestly, I still don't get what he was thinking doing this to you, but I couldn't stand by and leave you alone after that. You really are such a sweet girl, do you know that? And even I never saw anything like this coming at all. I know, I'm so sorry this happened to you, Grandma, but we'll get your house back, I promise. Oh, don't worry about that either. There would be no point. Grandma, don't say that. You can't give up hope. You really don't want your house back? No, it really is better this way, maybe. Come on, I know that it's a bit rural, but it's not like the house was falling apart. I'm sure that it's still worth a lot of money. Or is this about Roy stealing the deed? Because I'm sure that it's still under your name and you still have every right to the property. No, it isn't that either. In fact, I'm not worried that Roy has the deed at all anyway. What do you mean by that? I mean that living out in the country is no easy task, especially when you have a big house to take care of as well. There were so many things that needed repairing when I left there, so many creeks that needed attending to. I see, but I think that Roy might already be aware of some of those problems. Don't you worry, Ren. I'm sure that before long we'll be hearing Roy sing quite a different tune.
Hey, Ren, just curious, is Grandma there?
Give me one reason why I should have to answer that question, Roy.
Well, she isn't answering any of my messages when I've tried reaching out to her.
And what do you even want with her?
Well, things are kind of a mess over here, to be honest.
A mess? Kind of mess. What do you mean by that?
Well, for one, the trash collectors never pick up any of our trash. And all the neighbors have been really mean, and it's been so tough trying to buy from folks around here. I've been having to drive all the way back into town just to get some groceries.
I see. Yeah, that sounds like you're in quite the pickle.
I really didn't think that Grandma's neighbors would be so standoffish. But I guess there's not much else you can expect from backwards hicks like these.
Are you sure that they're not all just mad at you, Roy? Maybe it might have something to do with you stealing Grandma's house from her. I'm sure that no one liked watching that happen.
But I'm actually making good use of the house. I'm gonna make money off of this. It's my birthright. Surely I'm entitled to at least this. You're just jealous of me.
I'm not jealous, but you're clearly still not over our parents' passing.
You have no idea what you're talking about at all.
Actually, you're the one who doesn't know anything. When our parents passed, the only thing they had to leave us with was their debt. That's why nobody wanted to take us in. No one but Grandma, that is.
Debt? Wait, what are you talking about? I don't know anything about debt.
I heard the whole story from Grandma, so you can choose to believe it or not.
So then, Grandma was the one that took it all on?
That's right. You were always so upset for never being left anything by our parents, but it was actually Grandma who saved us from being saddled with that debt, and who raised us as her own after our parents passed.
Ugh, fine, I get it. You can tell her that she can move back here if she wants to, I guess.
I'm afraid that it's too late for that. Grandma isn't going to move back into that house.
What do you mean?
Well, you said that you were going to put her in a home, right? Instead, I found her a lovely condo unit geared for the elderly. And I can live with her there as her caretaker.
But wait, Grandma's still healthy, right? There's no need for her to live in a place like that. And how is she supposed to take care of her garden and stuff?
Roy, who do you think kicked her out of her house and separated her from the only life she knew in the first place?
Well, sure, but I didn't realize that Grandma took on all the debt after our folks died.
I don't care. You're still not addressing the main problem, which is that you kicked our Grandma out of her house.
Well, tell her that I'm sorry and I didn't know the full story. Please, this house is seriously a mess. The water heater isn't working, there's leaking from the ceiling. I need to know what else needs fixing here.
Why don't you just go online and hire a contractor to take a look at it?
I tried calling, but no one is going to be able to come out this far for a long time. Grandma's the only one that knows this place better than I do.
Yeah, Grandma was also a pretty big deal around town as well. Everyone knew and loved her there, and you kicked her out. It's just like Grandma said.
Hold on a sec. Has that old hag been spreading rumors about me to all these hicks? Is she the one telling them to act like total jerks to me?
It's not that at all. What you don't understand about living out there is that people don't think like they do in the city. They help each other out when their neighbors are in need. That's how people live out there. You've already proven yourself to be someone who could never understand that mindset.
Wait, no, please. I really am so sorry. Tell Grandma that she can come back here and we can figure something out. I haven't gotten any real work down here. Everyone is mean, and even Harriet is saying that she wants to move away.
Well then, why don't you just move away?
Because I've already sunk all my money into this damn house! We moved here because I was positive that this would be a sure thing, but nothing has gone how I thought it would.
Well, then it sounds to me like the only person you can blame this mess on is yourself. If you really think life out in the country is so hard, you shouldn't have moved out there in the first place.
You're right, I messed up. I should never have kicked Grandma out, so please, you have to help me. I promise I'll never do anything like this ever again.
I already told you that it's too late. Grandma isn't going to be moving back there. Especially not to go and help you, the way that you had betrayed her.
But I don't have any more. Tell her that she can move in and pay me rent and that'll fix everything.
I really don't think that Grandma would ever want to live in the same space as you ever again. You had your chance to make things work with her when you showed up to live there, but you even screwed that up.
But then, could you at least tell her to send me a little money every month to help with expenses? Even just some money to move out would be great.
Stealing her house wasn't enough. Now you want her to pay you? You must seriously be crazy.
Please, Ren, I'm begging you here. We're siblings, we help each other, right? This whole mess could cost me my marriage. What will I have after that?
I already told you, you had your chance to play the family card before you kicked Grandma out, and I hope your wife does leave you. That's what you get for what you did to the woman who took you in and raised you.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm so sorry. Please, you have to forgive me.
It's too late. We never want to hear from you ever again. So just leave us alone and deal with this mess and your own life on your own. I heard that about a month after our last conversation, Roy's wife Harriet moved back in with her parents. It wasn't long before Roy also gave up on the house and cut his losses. He tried selling the house, but it was quickly revealed that he had forged his signature on the deed and that it didn't even really belong to him. The divorce followed soon after that, and I don't know where Roy went. Of course, I don't really care what happened to him anyways. I'll never be able to forgive Roy for how he betrayed Grandma. He showed his true colors in that moment and gave us no other choice but to leave him. As for Grandma and I, we moved into that condo that I mentioned, and Grandma even started a community garden on the roof because she missed it so much. She sold her house in the countryside to pay for the rent, and even though she misses her old life, she always tells me how grateful she is that I stuck by her side. Meanwhile, although my life was thrown for a bit of a loop with all of this, I never stopped pursuing my own career and was more than happy to move in with Grandma. I thought that I would be so busy taking care of her that I would have to take on less work hours, but being in the condo seems to have reinvigorated Grandma. Now she seems more healthy than ever, and it's almost as if she's taking care of me more than I am of her. Of course, I still help out wherever I can, but she's a tough old woman who insists on doing many things herself. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.